Welcome to the Nerdy 9 at 9. I'm Corey.
And I'm Nob.
And this is what we're talking about today.
So you aren't going to want to miss it.
Hit it, Jace! So, how do you feel about climate change?
So you know that's bullshit. And this is the weekly pick-me-up.
This week, I picked up The Flash, Season 0. It coincides with the current Flash TV show, and it gives insights to the stuff you see off screen. The producer says it gives them a chance to explore territories and villains that they wouldn't be able to do in the show due to limitations with budgets. Also, I grabbed Rocket Raccoon, number 4. If you like Guardians of the Galaxy and you think Rocket was adorable, good series. Great artwork, hilarious writing, all around, good story. It's one that I'm going to keep up with.
And for my pick-me-up, first off, I picked up The Death of Wolverine number 4. In this book we see the conclusion of the Death of the Wolverine series. If you've been keeping up with this book, you know how awesome it is. And if you haven't, I'll pray for you. Also this week, I picked up Batman and Superman number 15. In this story, we see a hint at a potential love affair between Batman and Lois Lane. Superman was quoted as saying, "Fuck that trifling bitch." Batman was nowhere to be found for an interview.
This week in DC, on Gotham, we see a man kill people with a kaleidoscope, and Jim Gordon relays sensitive case information to a minor.
What did you think of the episode, Corey?
It was probably my favorite Gotham episode thus far. Not as far as like every element in the episode was perfect, but I liked the kind of turf war that was going on with Falcone and Maroni, and I thought that was starting to escalate into a very like exciting, and it feels like real consequences is coming from them, and I felt like the relationship with Gordon and Harvey just keeps getting better every week, and the way they interact with each other plays out in a very satisfying way.
What kind of rating would you give it? Out of 9, what kind of rating would you give it? 9 is the best, 1 is the worst.
I would give it probably like a 7.5 to 8, like in that range. Only because the villain, though, was really interesting at first. The first scene you see him, he gives the guy the kaleidoscope, fucking stabs him in the eye. That's cool. But then that wore off once they tried to kind of give him a lazy backstory, but they didn't. They tried to leave him ambiguous, so you didn't really know which side he was on, and it just got kind of confusing, and he ended up just being forgettable by the end of the episode.
Yeah, I felt the same way. I thought that the episode progressed the Falcone-Maroni feud really well. I thought the inclusion of Arkham was a really nice touch, and I thought it was definitely, I'm with you, I thought it was definitely one of the better episodes of the season, and I would give it an 8 out of 9 stars.
There's like, I had a problem with like how easy it was for like Jim and Harvey to like find him at his place of work. They just went and like talked to the guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, he works over there," and then they went and found him. I loved actually seeing Arkham. I thought that was so cool, and I thought they got the look of it down just right, and I'm really excited that that's becoming kind of a weird like conspiracy like turf war inside the Gotham show. So I hope the producers are able to give Arkham the personality and life that it has in the comics and even in the Arkham Asylum game.
Absolutely.
I told you never to come back here.
There's a war coming. I can help you. Trust me.
Every legend has a beginning.
Everything my parents worked for is now falling into the hands of criminals.
Not everything.
You want to be a woman with power? I'm looking for a weapon. Do you believe Gotham can be saved?
This week on The Flash, we see such carryover traits from Arrow as father problems, stupid love triangles, and unfunny smart people.
Now, how'd you feel about this week's Flash?
I thought it was a pretty good episode. I thought it was definitely filler. I thought that the villain kind of fell flat. And I would probably have to give it a 5 out of 9 rating.
Okay. This is obviously the follow-up to the premiere episode, which we both agree that the premiere was pretty solid.
Absolutely.
As a pilot. There's a lot of elements that I really like in The Flash, and I like his opening narration where he makes a comment sort of like how people like wait their whole lives to take action, and he's just like, screw it, I'm just gonna like go right into it. And it sort of feels like that's kind of the producers like, this isn't Arrow, this isn't Smallville, we're not gonna take up a long time setting things up. Like, he's the Flash, he got his outfit in the first episode, we're going right into it. I really like those aspects. I like how self-aware Barry is about the situation. That being said, I do have a problem with the side characters, especially Cisco. I felt like he's a very cut and paste of Felicity, but he doesn't have the charm, i.e. the hotness of Felicity, so it's hard to really give a shit. And they also have the problem from Arrow that the villain doesn't really resonate. They try to give him a little backstory and motivation at the very end, but it doesn't quite hit it. That being said, I do like the direction in like special effects. I feel like they're pushing the show further in that regard than Arrow, where they're showing more special effects heavy villains and more like powered people, where Arrow for the most part in the beginning was just no powers.
Much more grounded.
Yeah. So there's a lot of elements that I like in The Flash, and I'm really hopeful that they're gonna really keep the show alive, but at the same time it feels like the writers are kind of building off of Arrow a little too much in the way that the characters are set up.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't think that it was a bad episode. I just didn't think it was as good as the pilot episode. Or Gotham, or how I didn't think it was as good as Gotham the night before, and I didn't think it was as good as Arrow the night after. I think it had a lot to compete with in the DC TV universe, but I think if it didn't have that kind of competition, that it would have seemed and felt a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, and the show's still in its infancy. It's
Absolutely.
It's the second episode in. Are you with me in thinking that Dr. Harris is a reverse Flash?
Yeah, I believe so. And I think out of the first season, we're going to get a lot more. There are going to be a lot more reveals into what he can really do.
Yeah, because it comes up with the question of what he knows and what he knows about what he can do. Because there's little things planted, like they introduce the treadmill, which in the comics is a way for him to travel in time. So it comes into question if Dr. Harris already found that out and he already knows that he's the reverse Flash and that he goes back. If he, in the present time that we're watching the show, if he's the person that he knows he's going to be, or if he's yet to be there, it's still a mystery. And to add on to that, I felt like the flashbacks in The Flash felt a little forced and didn't really add anything to the story.
I agree.
Which was weird. I mean, they were mainly like trying to character build, but it was just relaying information that we saw in the pilot where Barry knows his dad's innocent and he's trying to convince other people, and he keeps going towards his dad. And I thought the scenes where Barry was like, he yelled and said, "You're not my father," twice. We got 2 scenes to his cop adopted father. He's just like, "You're not my father." Never really, like, that line sounds cheesy no matter what you put it in. And
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what would you get? What was your rating?
I probably liked it a little more than you. I would probably give it a maybe like an upper 6, almost a 7. Mainly the best thing going for the show for me is the overall look and the colors of it and the energy that the show has with it.
Something out there is saving people.
Everybody's out. What else you got for me?
You already have a job in law enforcement, Barry.
You can't be running around like some supersonic fireman.
No more heroics.
Know your limits. I'm in way over my head. Meet Captain Clone. Don't worry, I'll come up with something cooler.
The Flash.
In the world of Arrow, we were treated to people crying, people pretending to cry, and people trying to act like they could cry. We got a lot of standing around, and we got a lot of moody wallowing. Now, Season 3, Episode 2, how was Arrow?
I would have to give this episode a solid 7 out of 9. I don't think that it was quite up to the Gotham standard, but I don't think that it was worse than The Flash. Overall, I thought it was a very good episode. I thought that there were a lot of filler elements. I thought that the villain in this episode was kind of just a burner, or like kind of an afterthought. He didn't get a whole lot of screen time like I thought he would. And the only thing that I really didn't like about the episode was the goddamn motorcycle scene. That scene was so fucking confusing. At no point do you know whether you're watching Arrow drive the motorcycle or the villain.
This is the third Dark Archer the show has introduced, and that is a problem. Is Oliver's outfit is very dark green, and so it's hard to differentiate in those scenes, and it makes it hard for the audience to differentiate who we're trying to root for. And I thought that this episode, I mean, obviously from the trailer or the preview, I kind of knew it was going to head in this direction, but I was hoping for that it would have a little more energy and a little more like a mystery element to it. That being said, it's fine. Sarah's death didn't really have a huge impact. The burial scene was kind of weird because you think like maybe they could do better than just a hole in like a wooden box, but it was weird because I didn't know that Sarah had that much of an impact on all the outer characters.
What would your rating be?
I'm actually gonna rate this one probably like a 6 or 6.5. I don't like watching people just sitting around and cry.
Yeah, and I think just real quick before we get off this topic, I think that just like you said with the other Archer, the Dark Archer, I think that storyline and that arc is just getting so overused. It's not even cool. It's not suspenseful anymore. It's not cool. It's not, oh, there's another Arrow. I feel like they just do it too often.
And that scene at the end with Thea, completely out of character. Like, I could believe that she could train into she could train for something like better, but with what we've seen of her character in the first 2 seasons, I don't think a weekend away with Daddy Malcolm is gonna turn her into an assassin. It just seemed really comical how she was just like, I'm a warrior now.
I was shot with an arrow and fell off of a rooftop. This is Sarah. Sarah, you're Sarah.
Everyone is looking to me to lead. Whoever did this, I'm gonna find them. Arrow, all new.
And now for our Burning Bridges segment.
This week on Burning Bridges, we pick a bone with the brainless. Zombies. You're not that cool anymore. How many times have you seen someone getting their head smashed in, someone getting their guts pulled out? It's overdone. Cut that shit out. There were some few good examples.
Oh, you mean like this?
Right. And that one.
Ooh, good choice.
But it's been overplayed, it's been overdone, it's been overworked, and let's just say it's been beaten to death, brought back to life, and then beaten down again. Zombies, consider yourself burned.
In this segment, we're going to discuss the top 9 worst Marvel movies of all time. Corey, what would you put on your list as of the top 9 worst Marvel movies of all time?
Well, to start off, when talking about major pieces of shit, I would have to say the Ghost Rider movies.
And where would you rank that on your list of top 9, where 1 is the worst?
I would have to rank the sequel at about number 3, and the first one would have to be around number 5.
Okay. Well, for me, on my list, I would have to put Hulk. The Ang Lee Hulk.
Ooh.
Yeah, and I would have to rank it at number 2. Even as a kid seeing this movie, thinking, oh, this is a superhero movie, I left the theater saying, what the fuck? At a 5-year-old stance, no little 5-year-old should say, what the fuck, to a comic book movie.
A lot of questionable visuals in that one. I'm going to put that one number 6.
Number 6?
Number 6.
Do you think there are that many movies that are worse than Hulk?
Number 4.
Okay. That was easy.
You talked me into it.
That was easy.
Good one.
What else is on your list?
I would have to say Elektra. Probably number 2.
Number 2? Ooh. Yeah, it's up there. It's definitely up there.
Just boring, fucking dumb, boring, and Jeffrey Gardner. I'm sorry. No.
No, he's not. Okay, well, if we're going to stick with that theme, then I'm going to have to put Daredevil on there, unfortunately. I will clarify, I did like the director's cut. I felt it cleared up a lot of the questions you may have had if you only saw it in theaters. But unfortunately, I'm just going to go based off the one that was in theaters, and I'm going to have to rank that at number 6.
Daredevil for me, it's not terrible. I can watch it. I think definitely Colin Farrell brings it down too in that 6 range. I think you're pretty dead accurate with that one. Now, where do the Fantastic Four movies go?
I liked the Fantastic Four movies, actually. I thought that they were actually pretty decent. Honestly, I would have to rank them at number 9 and number 8. I didn't think that either of those movies had no redeeming qualities. I thought that the bad parts were not outweighed by the good in those movies.
Fantastic Four, you definitely deserve a spot on our list, but you don't deserve to be shunned. What does deserve to be shunned, though? X-Men Origins.
Ooh, yeah. See, that's one that we kind of differ on, because I didn't mind that movie. While it had its problems, I didn't hate it. X-Men 3, on the other hand, I would have to put that at number 3.
X-Men 3 at least had some good visuals. X-Men Origins is just shit all the way through.
While I'll agree with you on the visuals, I thought that overall they went back in time to make up for X-Men 3 as to say that it never happened. So I think if it's bad enough for a studio to go back and be like, yo, we fucked up, let's change that. For me, it has to rank higher on the list.
That's a good point. X-Men 3, where does it go? We're gonna have to bump something up.
X-Men 3 is number 3.
Number 3, that's gonna bump off. Alright, so everything moves down. Now we just need a number 1.
I think the number 1 here is pretty obvious, Corey.
Hawkeye.
I was going to say the Kim Kardashian sex tape, but Hawkeye... Wait, why Hawkeye? He doesn't even have his own movie.
Fuck you, Jeremy Renner.
But I think that the real number 1 worst Marvel movie of all time would have to be Howard the Duck. It is not Quacktastic. Alright, so that's going to do it for us. Those were our top 9 worst Marvel movies of all time. I want you in the comment section to tell us what your 9 worst Marvel movies of all time are. And tell us about our choices. Tell us that we're wrong. Tell me that I'm good looking, because I already fucking know that shit. Okay? We're going to come back right after these messages.
Must be Capri Sun coolers. Two more liquid cool blends of ripe fruit flavor. Citrus and tropical punch coolers. Have a nice day.
Welcome back. Unfortunately, after last week's outburst, we had to fire our reporter in the field, Antoine. Apparently, country-ass motherfuckers is insensitive. But we found a strapping young lad to take over. Our new intern, Mr. O'Reilly. O'Reilly, take it away.
Okay, I don't know. Whatever it is, it's not right on the teleprompter.
No.
It requires a lot of improv, Mr. O'Reilly.
Yeah, I can't read it. There's no words on it.
There are no words, Mr. O'Reilly. It's just improv. That's how we do our whole...
It's there. To play us out. What does that mean? To play us out.
It's...
I don't know what that... Play us out. What does that mean? To end the show?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, go.
We are going.
That's tomorrow, and that is...
I don't know what's so hard for you, Bill. Just say the line. That's all you have to say.
That's tomorrow, and that is it for us today. And we will leave you with a... I can't do it.
Why can't you do it?
Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it, and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
No, we can't have him on the... if he's gonna be doing... it's out of my hands. The guy's a fucking idiot. He's a fucking idiot. Oh, we're back. So we went to the Bellingham Comic-Con this weekend, and we did some of our own interviews because it's clear that we can't trust anybody else. So here's Thanks, us. We're coming to you live from the Bellingham Comic-Con, and things are in full swing. As you can see, we're at a packed house.
I'm here at Bellingham Comic-Con with a man named Thomas. He makes shirts. Tell me about it.
Well, thanks, Corey. I make Happy Einstein t-shirts. Our website is happyeinsteint-shirts.com. And right now, we're rolling out the t-shirts about the Higgs boson particle. So you guys have all heard of the Higgs boson or God particle? These t-shirts have two people dancing and it says, "Get your Higgs boson." So just check it out on our website, happyeinsteint-shirts.com, and you'll love it.
Star-Lord, now I must ask, was it tough losing the Adidas deal to Run DMC?
Yes, wait.
Corey here at the Bellingham Comic-Con with fellow space traveler Star-Lord. Star-Lord.
Yes.
What made you travel across the galaxy to Bellingham?
To Bellingham? Well, I heard there was some evil afoot, so I had to come and check it out for myself, and it turns out there's just a bunch of awesome people. All right, we're here with a couple of stormtroopers, and I just have to ask, which one of you feels worse for the Sand People?
The Sand People? Probably me.
Does evil come in the job description, or do you choose it?
Pretty much comes with the job.
Okay. Okay. How do you tell each other apart?
We don't.
Cover. That's the first cover we did to this.
Oh, okay.
And so we did it, got it all inked, all done, and they go, no, we want to change it. So then we did this one.
Oh.
So that one I just found out because some guy in New York emailed me, and he goes, is this really a cover? I said, well, let me see. It's like it's a rejected cover, you know?
If I've learned anything here, it's that the human race is fucked. So that's going to do it for us here at Bellingham Comic-Con. We picked up some cool shit. Back to us at the studio. Thanks, me. Well, that's going to do it for our show here at the Nerdy 9 at 9. But before we go, here are some shout-outs.
I'd like to give a shout-out to Waffles. Who knew you could put jelly inside of a waffle?
My first shout-out goes to Underbelly Comics for distributing some of the best writers out of Canada.
I'd like to give a shout-out to Skechers, because that shit's comfortable, but it'll fall apart in a week.
My second shout-out goes to our sponsor, Capri Sun, because that shit's refreshing.
I'd like to give a shout-out to the country of Vermont.
Vermont's a state.
The state of Vermont.
And my third shout-out goes to my boy Fattest, for obvious reasons. Have a good night.
See you next week. Same bat time, same bat station.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel. We put out videos every Sunday, and as always, leave a comment in the comment section. Did you like us? Do you hate us? Do you think we're dumb? Your voice, your power.